documents are all signed, but I want to tell you something. It's not easy stuff, people. For example, there was an incorrect statement on there because they presumed that Yvonne had paid me full rent. Anyway, to cut a long story short, there's still an issue where they're going to have to confirm that happened and so forth. So, it is a dog's breakfast, to be quite honest. But, at some stage you just have to sort of breathe and know this is all fine. It's all unfolding as it should, and I have no real reason to be concerned. So, I don't own it yet, people. Don't get excited. I don't own it until I think 5 o'clock on Thursday. 5 o'clock on Thursday, as long as nothing goes wrong with the monies, then we're good. So stressful. But the worst, something? The difficult things, the move and the signing of the documents, are behind me. Now it's just, get the place clean and wait for whatever. When I think about it, there are so many things that you have to do in buying and selling, or selling and then buying. I'm really, really proud of myself for making the decision and holding firm to it that I wanted to move a month beforehand and get my new place basically functioning so that I could rest. When I say rest, I wasn't, that I would not be overly stressed after the move and trying to work out how do I make coffee, or, this doesn't work or that doesn't work. So I really am very proud of myself for looking after myself that way, because it was without a doubt a lifesaver for me. It would have been so much more difficult if I hadn't done that, and so much more stressful. So I'm happier. Now I'm going back to unpack some more boxes, even though I said I wouldn't. I'm going to. And then get the cleaning done tomorrow. I will do everything, unless there's a major problem. I will do the broadcasts on Friday, just in case anybody's wondering. I may have to rush out between the two broadcasts to go and deposit a check. Yeah. But I'll be debt free. That is pretty amazing. However, the interesting thing is, and it is interesting, is that banks do not consider a manufactured home collateral. Apparently. So even though, if I needed a loan, it would be much more difficult now. Even though I own I will own my manufactured home outright. But I just got to be careful. And budget. For the first time in my life, probably. Well, that's not true. That's not true. I'm pretty good about budgeting. I just got to do it differently. And, when I look at my expenses, I know it sounds strange, but a lot of my expenses are actually weird ones. They're DearMamaSal expenses, there are stuff like that. But what I've got to do is to work out how much it costs to live in the new place, and I won't really be able to work that out until I've lived there. And I won't be able to make adjustments until I know what those costs are. So for the time being, I'm just going to enjoy it. And I got my Ring doorbell working. And by the way, for those of you who've got a Ring doorbell, let me know how you've got it set up in terms of the motion sensor thing. I realized that last night, I've got a screen door that was waving in the wind. And is there any way to totally nuke all the footage that it's already taken? That's what I wanted to know. I couldn't find that anyway. Maybe I need to phone them and ask. But if any of the viewers know, every day they give you a feedback of what happened during that time. I wondered if there's a one button thing where you can press and nuke out everything that it's already recorded. I found that you can go to each individual clip, but boy, that's, who's got time for that? You probably have to have the pro version or something. And the other thing that I find really interesting, for those of you who don't know this, it is a bit of a con game, and let me tell you why. Because the actual doorbell is very quiet. Now, if you want the doorbell to increase in volume, you need to buy another gizmo called a chime, and that will then set off chimes inside the house. But, a normal doorbell rings inside the house. But what I needed, I was, going, why didn't I buy the one that I had in my other house? Well, because I need to have the video, because I can't see who's the other side of the door, because the glass door is frosted, and so you can't see who's on the other side. That's insane for me, for a security point of view. All right, so it is what it is. Let's move on. Thank you all so much for being part of this journey. And what I really want to know is, as I continue to unpack and set it all up, I'm happy to continue to do the vlogs and show you what I'm up to, if it's still of interest. I realize that maybe the interest was in getting this far, or you want to, something though, there's part of me that goes, I'm going to have as many problems and issues and frustrations and reality checks unpacking as I did packing. So yeah, the lessons are still there, right? Which is why we do this, is so that you can see how these lessons go. I found it interesting in terms of mentality. I know that somebody said, it is what it is, which it is, right? And that when I got upset that it wasn't necessary. Well, I think it is. I want to tell you, I spent a lot of time getting healthy and not being depressed and not being affected by these things. And one of the things I've learned is when I'm sad, it's okay. It's perfectly okay to be sad, and not to squash it down and pretend everything is fine. When I am angry, it's okay to say so. And I really want to tell you that that's part of our problem. That's why we have so many people with issues, is because we're taught not to do that. And the truth is, if you are upset about something, find the words to tell somebody politely that you're upset about it. For example, I just signed these documents, and at one point there was a little picky thing going on, a little picky issue, and I needed to initial a change on it, and I got that done, and that was fine. And when they gave me my copy, it didn't have that on it. Now, I said, my copy doesn't have that change on it. I need a different copy. And then she said, oh, all right, fine. Gave me a photocopy of it, and I said, but it doesn't have your initial on it to confirm that I didn't write this, that you did. She said, what? I said, I could have written this and photocopied it. You know, legally, you need to initial it. That you agree that that was a change that was made between the two of us. Now, how did I know that? I've spent some time living my life. So, you know, to me it's really interesting that, you know, it's a little thing, but it's a thing that's important. You know, the document they give you, if it's a photocopy of the original, it should have the same information as the original. Not half of it. Or 99.9999999% of it. Another step taken in the right direction. And please remember to look after one another. But most of all, as I just did today, is to look after yourself. And if something isn't right, or you feel uncomfortable about something for some reason, it's okay to tell them that. And you know, so often you think, well, they'll think doesn't matter what they think. If you are uncomfortable about signing something, you need to say that. And you know, I just got to say, though I was going to close this, that I had to get fairly strong today about one particular point of law. When I say point of law, the document said that they could take half the rent out of my money. Well, I only got paid half the rent. That's not right. And they said, well, we can't change the document because it came from the other lawyers. I said, I don't care. I need an addendum or something written to say that this is not correct. And how you verify it is up to you guys. I don't mind. But I can prove that I only received half of it. I didn't get a full rent check. I can prove that. And I took a screen grab of my bank statement while I was right there and sent it to them. And said, there you go. That's where it went through my bank. So you can see I didn't get a full rent. Very interesting to see what happens with them. Anyway, look after one another, but most of all, remember to look after yourself. It's very, very important, and it will keep you healthier, and you will sleep better at night. Now, is there still some little nagging thing? What did I miss? You know, did I miss anything? Sure. I would be lying to you if I didn't have that, you know, part of my brain that's going, I hope to goodness that I caught everything there was to catch. But there is a possibility that I didn't. Sometimes you have to just take a leap of faith. This is DearMamaSal saying bye-bye for now.